reflexes like a mongoose on amphetamines. Waving his Wilson wand. Super scintillating and sensational from Sosa. It's tennis near the gods. No mortal may approach.
Welcome back to Tennis Near the Gods. I'm Alex, joined alongside my brother Nicholas, and today we're going to quickly recap the two 250s that just concluded today with Estoril and Munich. In Estoril, Stefanos Tsitsipas captured his first title ever on clay, and then ATP title on clay. And then Cristian Garín captured his second title this year on clay in Munich. So we're going to start off in Munich. Cristian Garín, he's going to jump to about 30 in the world now. Big time player, had a big tournament, beat Alexander Zverev in his first top 5 win. Yep. And so the big takeaway from this tournament, I've been saying it all along, Alexander Zverev's success has come from when he's been playing aggressive tennis. I mean, it's with most people, but specifically him. He commands the court, especially with his backhand. But right now, and what has been happening a lot more, and where he's had struggles in years past, in the 28 season, the beginning of that season, going up into Miami, he's stuck behind the baseline a lot more. And when he's playing well, he surges through the court, commands the court, likes to play a lot more, even on the clay. Like in Madrid last year, he won the tournament. He served lights out, wasn't broken throughout the tournament, faced like one break point the entire tournament. Because off of his serve, he commanded the court. He refused to back up and looked to come in, drop shots variation. Now, the Cristian Garín match, he had match points. He also saved match points before he had match points. But his struggles have resumed as he's drifted further back in the court. He's less effective. People can get better rhythm off of what he does.
He hasn't found his game the entire year, which he has in years past.
And one
he's
specific
dropped outside of the top 20 in the race to London.
One specific match that I can reference as I watched it is when he played, I think, Roberto last year in Beijing or something like that. He just blitzed him off the court. He has such enormous power. He's 6'6". He's built, even though he has a skinny frame, he is built. His legs are tree trunks. And he can just power people off the court. And right now, and it happens on the clay, he'll drift back, and he's not necessarily a sitting duck, but he's a lot more vulnerable, a lot more susceptible to other players. And then in Estoril, the big takeaway, and it wasn't even a big takeaway, I said this again, Stefanos Tsitsipas is a winner. He's the best player in the tournament, and he's going to win it, regardless of what happened, regardless of whether he plays his best tennis, tricky conditions, it's very windy, it's on the coast there, and he won the tournament. I don't really have anything else to say. He played Cuevas in the final. Cuevas is coming back. He's coming back again. He had a tough year last year. But so with all that being said, we're going to move into the Madrid Open. You have Djokovic as your 1 seed, Nadal as your 2, and really the big storyline going into this tournament is Federer. It's his first tournament back
since Rome in 2016 when he lost to Team in the third round. It's faster conditions with the altitude, so that will definitely
ball bounces a lot higher,
and his draw getting into the quarterfinals is fairly. It's not simple, of course, but it's a lot more straightforward than it might be. He doesn't have to face an unseeded player like Struff, who's been playing very well. Or
it's not even that. I think almost when I think about Federer on the clay right now, I think, okay, and especially what we've seen this past year, he's not going to lose to a certain caliber player, in my opinion. I see the person that has given him fits in the past on clay actually is Gaël Monfils. And he will have to play Gaël Monfils in the third round.
But the thing is, Gaël Monfils isn't necessarily at 100%.
It's not the same Gaël Monfils that
in the beginning of the season who went 15-3.
But that being said, Monfils gets up for big matches. It's whether he can get there or not. He's got a tough round. Goffin versus Fucsovics will play winner of Seppi Monfils. I honestly see Goffin looked
He looked a lot better.
In Estoril, that's also a takeaway from Estoril, is Goffin has struggled this year. Ever since did he make the O2 or it was around that, like 9 in the world? Or no, he didn't make the O2. He lost in the finals to Dimitrov. Ever since that run, he's been struggling. And I think even though he lost to Tsitsipas, I saw that match. He looked a lot more. His tennis looked a lot more promising. It looked like it had improved, just like how Nadal in the team match. Yeah. He looked like he played a lot better than he had been playing. So regardless of the win, or the loss, there was something to take from that. And I see Goffin playing Federer, and again, Federer's just better than these guys. He's got so many more ways to beat them, so many more tools to utilize. So I see Federer progressing to the point of team beating him.
Team's better on clay.
It's clay. We saw Team beat him in Indian Wells final.
And Team's coming off of his first 500 level tournament victory on clay.
And that being said, the conditions,
Nadal,
the ball bouncing high will give, like, Team comes alive with that. The more lively the court, his forehand is going to be even bigger. His kick serve is going to kick even more. His backhand is going to slap through the court even more. And he, honestly, when I look through the draw, Team is my favorite to win it. I could see...
Yeah, definitely. I see Nadal, 2 out of 3, depends. Like, he can throw in a dud like he has the past 2 tournaments.
It's not duds, but Nadal...
definitely against Fognini it was a dud. Not against Team.
Nadal will look to build up for Roland Garros. It's not the Nadal that has dominated clay in the past. And Team has taken a win off of Nadal. He took a win off of Nadal here last year. So Team is my favorite in this tournament. I pick him to win it. When I just looked at the draw, I said Team right off the bat. Fognini, you say Fognini won Monte Carlo. He's not. Fognini is hit or miss. He hit in Monte Carlo. I don't think he's hitting again.
Yeah, no.
I don't think he's progressing through Team at all. He has a tough first round against Kyle Edmund. Whoever wins that will progress to Team. I see Team moving through, going through the tournament. And we also have another comeback with Del Potro in this tournament. Juan Martín Del Potro is his first match back. He possibly will have to face
Dusan Lajovic, who finaled Monte Carlo.
Who finaled Monte Carlo and beat him last year at Madrid too. And then you keep on going up.
And it'll be interesting to see how these bigger players like a Cilic or a Kachanov.
Well, Cilic, this has also been another one of my the big players, and I said this before. I didn't think Kachanov was going to do well this year. I thought he was going to have a drop off. I thought
their
Cilic,
time this season. We have to wait. I feel
no. I said that Kachanov jumped up too fast. Kachanov has been struggling. He lost to Kohlschreiber first round in Munich, and then he lost to Sonego in Monte Carlo,
exactly.
And then he lost to Guido in first round of Barcelona.
Oh.
And so the big guys have been struggling. Marin Cilic could get a win. I think Struff is going to progress through. The portion where when I look at Djokovic's draw, I think Djokovic will make it to the semis and face Team. Without a doubt, I don't see any lapse there.
But do you think he
has a possible Dimitrov first round
French
match?
Open, as he said.
Yeah, I know, but I know.
Do you think it's
again? Wait, I said I look at his draw, and I don't see anyone who will give him the fits for where he will bail out at some point, or he won't be 100%. He will need 100% of his focus, even if the guy plays lights out.
I mean, Dimitrov could show up.
Nicholas, Dimitrov showing up, it does not matter. Djokovic will make more balls than Dimitrov. Dimitrov's firepower isn't enough to overwhelm Djokovic. I know Dimitrov has beaten him in Madrid in the past, but that is different than now.
All right, well, I'm taking Dimitrov over Djokovic.
Okay, you're nuts.
In the second round.
To predict that is not... The big match, I have 2 personal favorites playing. First round, Schwartzman's Kekanato. So that'll be interesting to see. Because Kekanato put a beatdown on Schwartzman. Beatdown. Took him to the woodshed in Buenos Aires in the final of 250 earlier this year.
Yep.
So that's going to be a fun rematch. But again, Djokovic, I don't see anyone giving him the fits up through the semifinals. I don't know about Juan Martín del Potro. The guy could.
You can't expect much.
He is a guy. I take that back. What I said. No one can punch holes in Djokovic where he needs to be. Juan Martín del Potro can. On clay, a little less likely.
But he's only played one tournament.
And coming back from injury, exactly. Coming back from injury, even more or less likely. I see Struff progressing through to see Djokovic.
Yeah, and he's the best clay quarter in this section.
He's not the best clay court in this section, but he is in the...
Right now, yes, for sure. He beat Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Dusan Lajovic would be in the best form out of all these, theoretically, in terms of past results. But I think Struff, this is Struff's draw. Courts, again, bounce. He's a big dude, big forehand, big backhand. He comes to net well. So he has that for him. And he has a big game. And I like big game in Madrid. That's why I like team, big forehand. That's who I'm taking. Struff to face Djokovic, quarters there.
And I see Alexander Zverev's struggles continuing here in Madrid. He's got to face either Davi Ferrer, who's retiring here in Madrid, or Roberto
who beat him earlier this year. Ferrer beat him
not in Acapulco, but
no, in Miami.
And also George.
I think when we move down, you have Tsitsipas. I'm high on Tsitsipas on clay, even though he just won his first clay court tournament. You'd be shocked. I say he's
progressing to the.
He is one of the best. When you look at the newcomers, I say team, and then I say Tsitsipas' clay quarters, the best clay quarters. Tsitsipas' game on clay.
Looking at this draw, I see Tsitsipas. This is his best chance to reach another match 1000 final.
No, Tsitsipas facing Nadal, and Nadal's forehand to his backhand. Too heavy.
But getting to the semis, it's
Tsitsipas makes semi. Jaime Munar faces Karen Khachanov. Jaime Munar right there. That's if anyone would say
definitely.
Upset, I don't say.
It's not much of an upset.
I don't say it's an upset right now. Karen Khachanov can't buy a win at this point. And so Jaime Munar there. Tsitsipas is just better than everyone else in the draw in his portion, not everyone else in the draw. And then Zverev. I mean, I hope Zverev shows up and like he says he's been practicing well. He just hasn't found his form yet in matches. I don't think Ferrer or Bautista Agut matches up well against him, but Ferrer did beat him in Miami. But if Roberto Bautista Agut wins, I don't think his game matches up well with Zverev, especially on clay. I don't think clay helps Roberto Bautista Agut. So I do see Zverev winning at least a match. And then this, I could see Zverev possibly making it into the quarters just by default that he's, I don't know. This is the portion because George hasn't been playing well. Puyi just won a challenger, but he has not been playing well.
He got to the quarters of Monte Carlo. You forget. I mean, he didn't.
George is not in form though. He's not playing.
Yeah.
His best tennis, and I don't know. Hurkacz is. I love Hurkacz. He plays Alex de Minaur. De Minaur played his first match in a while, and Estoril lost to Dominguez 200 something in the world.
He didn't like.
I could see a Hurkacz progressing through. So that's the real question mark of this draw is leading up to Tsitsipas, that match against Tsitsipas in the quarterfinals. Who's going to make it? That's the part of the draw where I have the biggest question. And then we're going to move down, and then you have Kei Nishikori and Nadal 6 and the 2.
And also Daniil Medvedev. He just beat Kei Nishikori in the semifinals of Barcelona to reach the
Daniil
final.
Medvedev
in a thriller.
Most wins on tour this year.
Yep. And he's facing Guido Pella, who has the most clay court wins on tour this year.
You sure right now?
Maybe Garín passed him, but definitely some point this week.
Daniil Medvedev. You've been high on him. I call him professional push.
He slides the ball through the court on the return, stands very far back. Just so solid from behind the baseline.
I take him to move through. I just don't see him beating Nadal. I
want to see Kei Nishikori taking him out here.
I would like to see a Basilashvili Nadal, and even though everything tells me that will not happen, And I would love to see that happen. Basilashvili just unloading on Nadal's ball. Funny enough, what was the Basilashvili lost to Nadal and Roland Garros like 3 years ago? 1-0 or something like that. Something insane. But still, I'd love to see that. Basilashvili, one of my favorite players.
And you had just today Felix Auger-Aliassime taking out Denis Shapovalov.
And he's going to face Nadal.
Looked really poor in that match. So he's facing Nadal. Nadal's just the better player.
But this is what I've said about Shapovalov. And he's got a phenomenal game, phenomenal upside, but it's not something that I think you can produce week in and week out. He can get hot.
And he makes semis of Masters 1000s.
He'll make semis. He'll do well in some big tournaments. He's a big-time player, loves the big stage. But when it comes down to it, he's not consistent enough.
Yeah. And he hasn't won a title in his career.
And it feels like his shot the way he plays is just so up to chance. And so hit or miss. He takes massive cuts at the ball, and the ball flies off his racket. But how fast can you actually play on a tennis court? I don't know. I think he's gonna have to rein it in and learn to rein it in and play smarter. He needs to play smarter if he wants to make that next big jump.
Mm-hmm. So for the quarterfinals,
Nadal versus Medvedev. I'm with you there.
All right. So for the quarterfinals onward, I'm gonna take going against what I said with Dimitrov. I'm gonna take Djokovic in the quarters.
Someone's come to their senses.
Playing Struff there. Struff. I'm gonna take Djokovic once again, making the semifinals, then moving down onward. I've got Fed making the quarters and then losing to Team. Team will make the finals, defeating Struff. And then down below, I've got Tsitsipas playing Borna Coric in the quarterfinals. Tsitsipas coming through, and then Kei Nishikori versus Rafael Nadal. And I can't go with Nishikori here. I want to, but I'm gonna go with Nadal and Tsitsipas taking him out, and then Team winning the tournament.
All right, so you stole my idea of team winning the tournament, but I have Djokovic in my quarters against Struff as well. Djokovic winning that, and he's going to face the winner of Fed and Team's going to progress through that. Team is making the finals, beating out Djokovic. I have Tsitsipas in the quarters against Hubert Hurkacz.
Ooh.
I'm big on Hurkacz, however you say it. And I have Tsitsipas winning that, making the semis, facing Nadal, who beats out Medvedev. Nadal faces Team in the finals. Team puts another beat down on him. Another one. I'm all in for Team this year on clay. Not winning the French, but I'm all in on him in the Masters 1000s. So thank you so much for listening. We're going to come back at you guys next week, recapping everything that happened. And then previewing Masters 1000 series that's going to go in Rome the following week. So thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it.